Hey you guys, welcome back to DuckmanCycles and VW Garage. I'm your host, the Duckman. We're back today to work on Gregory the bus, and it's been a long time since I worked on him, and I'm really sorry for that. Just so much has come up in my life just since last December. You know, the fact that I started a new job last week due to getting fired. That's right, the entire state of Florida got fired. I lost my contract, one of my biggest contracts, so I started something new last week. I'm actually making a little more money than I used to, too, so I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. Anyways, we need to get back onto this. The good thing about the new job is I'm able to set my own hours, what time I'm going to work, where I'm going to work, how I'm going to do it. As long as everything gets done, nobody cares. So today we're taking a little bit of time to work on Gregory. And what I need to do, which has been a huge problem, is this cover that I had on Gregory has been weeping something bad. I think some of the sharp points that are around the edges here have started to dig into the tarp and cause it to get some cuts in it, or maybe it was just weeping. I don't know. I don't have any idea. I don't care. But the whole bus is always wet. And every time I pull that cover off, the inside of it is wet. Even on a bright sunny day where the ground is dry and it's not raining, it's still wet. And I'm not happy with that. That can't be, because there's so much new metal that's on this that is already starting to get rusty spots on it. Not a big deal. You can clean it up. But the fact is, if it stays that way for any length of time, it's going to cause me more problems. It's going to cause me more work. So I need to get this vehicle someplace drier. And as you know, I have them tent garages that are over here. Now, they're currently off camera. You can't see them. But I just cleared one of them out, and I'm kind of embarrassed to show you the mess, but there's a huge pile of just junk that had accumulated inside of there over the last few months since the white Beetle had been sold. And Gregory needs to go in there next, and so much of that crap needs to be thrown away. So much of that crap remains from the previous job that I used to have. That was just junk parts that they told me to throw away, but some of them still worked, so that didn't feel right to me. But now I don't need them. Out they go. So Gregory is going to get a new shelter, and that's what we need to do today. But before we can get to any of that, I have to weld this front end back on here. Because if I try to push on Gregory right now, this front end is soft. It's very flexible. This beam that goes across the front here is what keeps that bus from collapsing this way at the bottom. And it's also what holds up the front end. So everything that attaches to the frame will be from there up. So I definitely need to get that beam welded on the front there, and then at the end of the day, when this is settled, I need to get this thing pushed over into the shed. Now, if you've been watching these videos, you know that I went ahead and started all the drilling of this piece, all the sanding that's necessary to get everything clean, to do some welding. I might have to hit it a little more. There's some rust spots starting to show. But nonetheless, everything is prepared. Everything's ready to go. So all I have to do is get everything clamped together and just run around this thing with a welder. I don't need to do any fancy grinding today. I don't need to do anything that's cosmetic. Just get this thing strong, get some structure on it. This will be a step in the right direction, and then get this thing in the shed. Now I'm going to back it in the shed so the nose faces out, so that way I can continue working on that front end by just rolling it out a couple of feet. I don't like to weld inside of those tents because, well, I have had hot sparks hit them and it'll just burn a hole right through the plastic tarp. So we're not going to weld inside of it. But I can roll it forward just a couple feet, do the welding, and then at the end of the night, put it back in the garage and zip it back down. I noticed that the fastback stays incredibly dry in there. It does occasionally drip through the ceiling, but I mean, a little drip here and there is much better than having this thing as just it's a giant wet pocket. Some wet pockets are fun. But it's not fun when it's your bus that's rusting. So we are going to definitely get this thing pushed inside today. So that is the goal. Get this put together and get him inside. As always, guys, likey, comment, subscribe, pluck that dingle belly. That way you get updates every time I upload a video. And don't forget to check out duckshit.net for all of my different social media links. You can also email me through my own website. And if you don't want to use the website to email me, it's DuckmanCycles@duckshit.net. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll be back right after that intro. All right, effectively, we are complete. That is starting to look, well, assembled. We actually have something on there. There are some holes that I could not weld into because it turned out there was no metal behind them. So they were just wasted drilled holes. I will fill them in, though, just because. I guess I really don't have to. Nobody's ever going to see them. And they do need to get coated just to make sure that they don't rust. But, yeah, I'll fill them in. But structurally, this thing is strong. It's really strong. It doesn't go anywhere anymore. Very, very nice. Over here, if we take a look at the passenger side door, it opens, right? And it closes with minimal effort. Everything is nice and straight. So that worked out quite well. Quite well. The door needs to be tweaked a little bit. It's a little bent. But that's something I'll fix when I fix this rusty section down under here. It's actually been hit here and caused this to bulge out. So that needs to be fixed. But yeah, door opens and closes. Also, if you open the door this way and you lift up and down on that door, the whole front end is no longer flexing on this bus. And that was the reason why I didn't want to push on it. I didn't want to bend anything. And now everything's nice and square. And the doors open well, nice and straight. The works. Very happy. Left side also opens wide. Flexing. None. See that? The whole body moves instead of flexing the front end. Now this closes up just fine. This door is a little bit tweaked here. I don't know why, but it bows out here in the middle. I'm going to guess somebody probably closed something in the door and bent it. But that's something that I will get to at a later date. No problem. As far as the rust in the bottom, this one's not as bad as the one on the other side. But still, I'll fix it. We're just not there yet. Up inside, you can see my weld marks over there. Looks like we got some adequate penetration with no burn through. That looks pretty nice. All this panel in here is all welded in. I still need to fill a little notch in that frame there to strengthen that up a bit. There's also one over on this side. You see that it also needs to be filled in. In fact, it's two sides? No, it's just the one side. Right there is a little piece needs to fill in. Over there, you can see the welds. Looks like I might have missed one. I guess I'll revisit the front end of this and see what happened there. But effectively, it's nice and strong at this point. This panel, however, I did not bother to weld that in yet because I don't know exactly where it's going to be. But it does have to be inserted prior to me welding in the lower panel. Otherwise, I'm never going to get it in. So that's an awful thing if you can't get it in, if you know what I'm saying. All right, we got a nice solid front end. I'm going to install that left side front wheel on the stock hub that's on there right now. I don't have the Porsche hub on that side yet. I had to do a little more work to one of the brake brackets, and I just never got around to it. So the stock drum is still on there. We'll just attach to that. We'll get this jack stands out from under this thing, and we're going to roll this sucker right into that shed. Come on. And 3, 2, 1. All right, well, Gregory's finally inside, and I gotta say, that was a hump. This was a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be. I figured I would have, 2 or 3 K-turns and push it in here, and it turned out it was more like a dozen. And this is an upward slope from where Gregory went to, and it sounds like it might be easy rolling him downhill, but because of all this back and forth action, I had to push him uphill several times. Now he's really light, and he's got air in the tires, and he's got new bearings the whole way around except for one wheel. He really rolls pretty easy. Of course, there's no engine in there, no interior, the glass is gone, so he's light, he's really light. But still, had I have not been working out the past several weeks, this would have been beyond my capability. I would not have been able to do this all in one shot like I did. I'm still a little bit out of breath from it. I did not take a rest either, by the way. Yeah, I didn't take a rest, which shows just how much better of a shape that I'm in. And I was able to catch my breath and still be able to talk to you guys here in the video, whereas before I used to just talk and run out of breath. So yeah, this is good. So please give me that like. I mean, I think I deserve it on this one. Please like this video, you guys. Leave a comment down below. Share it with your friends. And please subscribe as always. Hit up duckshit.net for all of my different social media links. You can find my Facebook, my Instagram. You can find Skeeter's Facebook, which now Boomer is running, but we refuse to change the name on it. I think out of respect for that girl who's been with me for almost 18 years. She gave 18 years to me. I think we're going to keep the Facebook name as Skeeter the Duck, as well as her YouTube channel. Boomer will star on it, of course. Boomer probably won't get his own unless he becomes a personality similar to how Skeeter was. So here's hoping. I don't know how he's going to be. He's actually about 30 feet away from me right now, soaking wet. Otherwise, I'd pick him up here and put him in the video. Anyways, you guys, I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. And we'll be back hopefully soon, because what we got to do next is we got to finish welding in the outside of this down below here on the bottom, and then we got to start tearing apart the windshield frame and the forehead of the bus. So we got some work cut out for me, and I appreciate you guys once again for watching. I think I've said that 3 times now, but we actually are going to end the video this time. We'll see you next time.